Oh.
All right.
Somebody was
We're in it.
late there, but that's fine.
That's fine. Episode 4.
Oh, man, let's go. Last video game podcast.
Yep. That's what the show is called.
Sure is. Oh, shit.
We have...
Okay. Hell yeah.
We have a very special guest with us today. The one, the only... Silverhand.
What's up, gamers?
That's right.
You might know him from some listener mail that I'm pretty sure we've received. I'm sure that we gave more than satisfactory responses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you might also know me from the hit video game Cyberpunk 2077.
Yep. He's also made an appearance in the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim as the band of vampire hunters, I believe are called the Silverhands. So
yeah, you just got to get a really good agent to get you in all those different games.
Now, let me ask you something. Is that kind of like a twist on the Black Hand? Like, isn't that the name of the assassin group in Elder Scrolls? The Dark Brotherhood. There's the Black Hand of the Dark Brotherhood. I'm pretty sure that's like the
yeah.
That's the leadership.
The Black Hand of Sithis.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Man,
those games are they're for nerds.
Whoa, hold on.
Okay. I mean,
now, have you ever read the 37 Sermons of Vivek? Because I'm sure if you have and you understood the lawyer implications, you certainly wouldn't be saying it's only for nerds. I tell you what.
Streamer, have you taken the deep dive into the Elder Scrolls lore?
I mean, so I've never really, not enough to really consider myself like a Elder Scrolls lore head. I've played a good amount of Morrowind. I've played a lot of Oblivion, and I vaguely understand what happened to the Dwemer. But I also understand the concept of Chim, but I never really learned about it in game, so to speak. I just kind of like picked it up outside of game.
You read the wiki?
Yes, essentially. Yeah, or read forums and that kind of stuff.
That's crazy.
It's have you like played them? Like, are you a Elder Scrolls lore head?
Oh, I mean, I have like 600 hours in Skyrim. I don't know if I've ever.
Okay, I mean Skyrim. I said Elder
Scrolls
Scrolls
games.
So like not not.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I played
shitty.
Oblivion when I was in middle to high school.
Okay.
But I didn't really read anything. It was more so jumping in corners so you could raise your acrobatic skills, you could jump out of cities, and then casting spells while standing still so the numbers would go up. I did a lot of that.
I was a big fan of that. I liked doing the kind of thing where there was one dupe glitch in Oblivion where like you would have to swing a sword and then select a spell scroll with like a whole bunch of copies. You could drop an item and it would drop that number of the item. You could just do that and like fill rooms with stuff and make your game crash.
You fill rooms with watermelons. That was fun.
I loved doing that. That rocked.
Yeah, it's a really good time.
So I've never played Morrowind or Oblivion, but I'm still in the camp of them being better games because being better than Skyrim seems like a very low bar to me.
The thing is,
I think Skyrim gets a bad rap these days.
I don't think any of them are necessarily substantially better games than any of the rest of them. I think the thing is that Skyrim and Morrowind Morrowind and Oblivion do a better job of tricking you into thinking that they're interesting.
That's fair.
Because Morrowind has all that interesting shit. Like it literally articulates in the like in-game lore if you like read the books and stuff. This idea about Chim, that the player character is aware that they are a player character in a video game and can like manipulate reality.
That's fair. Again, I haven't played them. I just get all of my video game opinions from the internet.
Right, as you should.
I think that's the correct way to do it. Yeah, because that way you can filter out all the bad opinions and you only have the correct one. Yeah, no, but I mean, they're a fun time, and also, like, Morrowind kind of embraces breaking the game more. Obviously, you can't do dupe glitches, but there are legitimately, like, levitation spells, so you don't need to jump in a corner forever. Like, you can just fly. And, it's a good time. Also, I guess I was going to say that you don't need to jump out of cities, but that's just a quirk of the loading, right? That the cities aren't instanced, and that's the thing in Oblivion.
Yeah. So you'd like jump out of the city, and then like the world wouldn't be loaded around you because you need to go through a loading screen to get outside the city, and didn't know how to deal with that. So you would just like fall through the. Well, I don't know if you fell through the world, but
Another that reminds me of another one of my favorite games from around that time period. Actually, it was called Mercenaries 2: World in Flames. And it had amazing destructible world. You could like call in like bombers on cities, which as I think about it now is kind of messed up actually. But you nonetheless like it was very glitchy, at least as I played it, because I had an Xbox 360 and I didn't have internet, so it like wouldn't update. So you could just like if you input any buttons on a loading screen, you would end up just falling through the world once the game loaded. You would be like riding a motorbike sometimes, and it would fail to load the area in front of you, and you just start driving off into the like void. But when it worked, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said for like old, broken, glitchy, unpatched games.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of glitches when they are very funny and don't impact the game too much. Mercenaries 2 actually was like that was too glitchy, and I am not a fan of that. But no, they have a certain charm to them, right?
Yeah, especially in like Oblivion. Like if you're like a stupid idiot kid, you can literally spend hours just like fucking around with glitches and breaking the game in fun ways.
It's a good time. I remember some of my brightest memories of Call of Duty is from Modern Warfare 2 before they patched the care package glitch, where if you were running around while holding the kill streak that like you could throw a smoke grenade and get a care package to come in, if you ran around while holding that smoke grenade, you ran super fast and you could just like do insane exploits. It was a ton of fun, it was a good time. It was very funny looking.
Yeah, and there was the javelin glitch where like if you died, you would just like explode.
I played after they patched out the javelin glitch actually. That was after I had gotten internet. That was a ton of fun. I played Call of Duty on Xbox Live with Wi-Fi, like a good probably a floor and a half away from a Wi-Fi router.
Same.
Oh yeah.
3 bars all day.
Oh god, that ruled. Yeah.
I remember getting so mad about people's bars and then becoming the host of the lobby.
I was never host.
Oh, I was host all right. It was just, I probably shouldn't have been, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a good time.
I remember, like Call of Duty 4, like, loading up private lobbies, and just, like, I think the map was Crossfire. You could, like, get outside of it by, like, jumping on the building in the back. That was fun.
Oh, yeah, there were a ton of maps you could climb all over. That was always a great time.
Yeah.
As I recall, they patched that out as it went further, but I remember in Modern Warfare 2, there was a map, like, it was the one, Overgrown, maybe? It was the one that was the Gillies in the Mist mission. And if you got the Painkiller death streak, you could run outside of the map because there was, like, radiation zones that were supposed to kill you. And then you had, like, a great little secret sniper spot that you just sit at and...
snipe people.
Yeah.
There's sort of a similar thing during the World at War beta.
Jesus, how old are you?
so if you got into the beta, right, you could I forget what the map was, but you could get underneath it and like shoot people there. And there was of course like this big debate on GameFAQs about like whether that's an ethical thing to do or not, because some people will defend it and be like, yeah, man, the only way Treyarch's going to know about this glitch is if we exploit it all the time. So, actually, we're doing a good thing, actually.
Debating ethics in Call of Duty games is one of my favorite hobbies.
That's so funny. Like, yeah, by camping in this corner that no one can see, I'm actually contributing to the video game because Treyarch will patch it out.
Yeah, I'm just bringing it to their attention, man.
What's the guy's name from the Falador massacre in RuneScape? Like, yeah, I'm actually helping.
I don't know RuneScape lore.
I think it was in 2006. Actually, you know what? It was on June 6th, 2006. There was a guy who they had recently added this thing with like you could players could build their own houses and kind of like build furniture and stuff like that. One of the items was a boxing ring, and they hadn't, it was a new feature, and so somebody was having a house party. It got too full, and they kicked some people, and some of the people they kicked were in the boxing ring. And it just gave them the ability to attack other players anywhere, even though in RuneScape normally that's a very limited ability. And so the guy ended up just killing a whole bunch of people in this one area. And it was good, I guess, because it led to, patching of that.
Yeah, just doing a service, right? Doing his due diligence.
Right. So anyways, to get, I guess, into the main of the show, I guess normally we start with listener mail. Just a little bit of background. We were going to have a different guest on. Unfortunately, they, I guess
died.
They had unexpectedly were in a class that ended at this time that they agreed upon.
And when the class ended, they died.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, he'll be ready in 30 minutes, but he's dead.
Luckily, Silverhand showed up. He's not necessarily prepared to talk on any topic, but I'm sure that we could commiserate together about the awfulness that is Sekiro. Heroes die 2 times, and shadows are the secret. Or we could talk about how good crosscode is, something along those lines. But do we want to start with listener mail?
Yeah, I mean, we could do. We have 3 listener mails this week, so maybe we don't want to burn them all up front, right? We want to give the people something to look forward to, because I think it is the best part of the show.
Okay, so save that for the end. We can talk video games now.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, so
I like
we
that
can talk
format.
about what video games we've been playing this, recently. I just recently started playing Golf Story, which honestly, just from the name and like the it seemed like it was a Reddit secret gem kind of game. Like, it actually was very basic, but it was kind of recommended as being this indie hit. But honestly, I've been playing it. It's pretty chill. It's a good time.
Do you golf?
I do not golf, no. But I annoyed my roommates a couple years ago by watching the Golf Channel on the TV that was in the living room.
I mean, like in the video game.
Oh, in Golf Story.
Do you golf in
Yes, you do golf in Golf Story. I was worried that it was more because it has like minor RPG elements, and I was worried that you would end up doing a bunch of talking to people, and there would be feels, and one of the characters would be like, actually, I have depression, and
Undertale.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but it didn't have any of that. Not that any of that is bad out of hand. I'm cynical.
Have either of you ever played the game Desert Golfing?
That sounds familiar, but no. I don't really play golf games.
So Desert Golfing, I think, is the best golf game and one of the best mobile games. And it's very simple. So you're just controlling a golf ball in a desert, and there's a hole on the right side of the screen. And when you hit it into the hole, the screen scrolls to the right, and there's another one. And sometimes there's terrain to get over, sometimes there's tricky shots you have to make. But it just keeps going and going and going, seemingly forever. And I don't want to spoil too much, because I would really recommend giving this a shot. But eventually, there are things that aren't just endless desert, and it's very cool.
Oh. That sounds cool. I'm into that kind of a thing. It sounds like it might be a little bit of a twist on a normal golf game. Honestly, the reason I'm playing Golf Story is to psych myself up for Super Mario Golf, I believe it's called. Super Mario Golf 64, or whatever the new one is that's just coming out.
On the Switch.
On the Nintendo Switch.
Is that coming out soon?
I think it's coming out like the 30th or something.
Okay, well, hold on. So why do you need to psych yourself up to play a golf video game?
Golf is a pretty high energy, intense sport. It requires a lot of athleticism, so I wanted to, get a handle on that.
Well, I don't think this new Mario Golf game is really a golf game, because you don't take turns in it. It seems like you just run and hit the golf ball, and it's all done in real time, which I would argue is not even golf at all.
That rules. That sounds so hot, like hype. Is it still? It's not point based then?
I'm not sure.
I don't know how golf works.
Well, so I mean, what's fun about this game is that it's quote unquote golf. It's you press a button at the right time on a meter, right? So that you
as you do in real life.
Yeah, obviously, right. It's very different from real life.
Very realistic.
What's fun about it is that it's a given course is par 3, and so you have to get it into the hole in 3 hits or less if you're good. And that challenge of like solving this in however many strokes without any real concrete rules, that's a lot of fun. To offer some good opportunity for creativity, I think.
It's a puzzle game.
Exactly, it's a puzzle game. Yeah. Have you guys been playing anything else recently?
I started playing God of War recently, and not the first game titled God of War, but the more recent of the two. And It's been pretty good so far. I would say a lot of it is like your standard kind of AAA action game, but it's all just executed very well, so I've been having fun with that.
I can't take those games seriously, the God of War games. Like, I feel like I've played them. I don't think I've ever played a single one, but I feel like I have played them, and I don't think I'm wrong to feel like that. It's just... they seem so bland. I don't know.
I never played the original trilogy, but I'm liking this reboot more than what I've seen of those so far. This one, instead of Greek mythology, gets into Norse mythology, and it's pretty interesting. It's got a neat setup where Kratos has been sort of retired and has a family now, but his wife dies at the beginning of the game, and this stranger shows up who is seemingly some sort of Norse god or has powers from Norse gods or something. And he's this really strong nemesis there, and it's getting into this unknown territory for him.
But that's the thing, right? It's kind of just a cutscene simulator. I mean, it makes me think of... you know what it is? I get it confused with Asura's Wrath, which I think I saw some of, not all of.
It's actually
that's
not...
just also a video game.
It's actually not super cutscene heavy. A lot of it is just dialogue that's done during gameplay. So
is it very third-person platformer jump action-y?
There's a little bit of platforming, but the platforming parts are very scripted. I would say almost like Ocarina of Time levels of scripted platforming. It's much more focused on the action and the combat.
I have no idea what that means.
So, have you ever played an Uncharted game?
No, I have not. I maybe seen an Uncharted game get played. I think we talked about this on another episode, and so
we did.
Whatever I said there I'm not going to contradict, obviously, because it was correct then, as it is now.
Yeah, I guess my impression of like the newest God of War, and also I haven't played it, but I think I plan to at some point, is like you basically traverse from like combat arena to combat arena using some amount of scripted platforming and pretty simple puzzles. Then you punch things, and then people talk to you, and it's good.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That sounds fun enough. You've played it on the PS5, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, I have, and it's not too upgraded there, but it does run at 60 FPS, which feels, I assume, better than the original did.
So maybe you can clarify. You guys can clarify something for me. Actually, my brother is a little bit of a gamer. And so he got one of the new Xbox things. It's like a rectangular prism. And so he gave us his Xbox of some sort. And it has all these kinds of, media apps like Disney Plus, Netflix, all that good stuff. But I don't know what generation it is. Because I don't understand what those are anymore because the Xbox Series names are confusing.
Well, that's because Xbox doesn't believe in generations, and Sony believes in generations. That's their whole tagline.
Because the new Xbox is the whatever 8th generation console, right? And that's the Xbox Series X?
Yeah, it's the 4th Xbox console. It's called the Xbox Series X, which is not to be confused with the Xbox One X,
right?
Which was the half-generational step between the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so I think what I have might be an Xbox One. I don't know if it's an Xbox One X. That's something I'll have to look into. But something just clicked for me there.
Yeah, but the important thing to understand is after the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, there was a half generation where Microsoft put out the Xbox One X and Sony put out the PlayStation 4 Pro. But Sony doesn't think that half generations are a thing, and they believe in full generational leaps.
Okay.
It's all very straightforward.
I'm just playing my Nintendo Switch, buying a physical copy of Crosscode so that I can play the game at 25 FPS. I don't understand this new generation nonsense.
Yeah, like the internet.
Yes, exactly.
really confusing.
Back in my day, there was one generation.
Goddamn right. Generation 1, 151 Pokemon. That's why we should have goddamn kept it before this country went to shit.
Honestly, here's the thing. 150 Pokemon, that's fine. Mew, what even... Get out of here. That's not real. There's nothing behind that truck. There's no origin to that rumor. I'm a Mew truther.
Do you ever, play Pokemon on the playground?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, with... I mean, maybe not, literally at my school playground, because I feel like they would frown upon bringing Game Boys or something.
Fucking dude. What are they going to do? Take it away from me? I'll kill them.
Yes, they will. I wasn't a psychotic child like you, or maybe the protagonist of some video game that people might be into. But no, I definitely did. I mean, I played Pokemon with Link Cable with friends of mine as a kid. That shit rocked.
So I never owned the first couple of generations of Pokemon games because my parents thought that they were connected to the devil. But I would always... I would always play them over at friends' houses, and I would just have their Pokemon cart, and I wouldn't be able to save because it was their copy of the game, but I would just get as far as I could without saving in one session.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, honestly, I think your parents are doing you a favor because...
yeah, they really were.
I don't know.
Saving you a lot of disappointment as an adult.
I don't think there's anything wrong with spending my childhood looking up obscure fake rumors on Wikipedia about how if you touch the Wish Stone in whatever that one location in Ruby and Sapphire 99 times while holding a Regicanth in your party, that Jirachi will fly you to the moon or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a good way to spend your childhood.
Yeah, no, I mean, that part's cool, but then it's then you become a 22-year-old and you just want to escape back to the happy feelings you had as a child, so you pick up the Pokemon game and then you realize, oh my god, it's bad.
It's so bad, yeah.
It's bad.
It's just look, it's not like I have a problem with... I think Microsoft PowerPoint is a good application. I just don't get why they should make a Pokemon game using it. I think it should run better than that, One time, actually, back... This was still not good Pokemon, I think, but maybe this was X and Y, or maybe Pokemon Sun. One of the Pokemon 3DS games. I was playing with my roommate, and, we had picked it up. It was a good time. And at one point, he was driving home from work, and then he got back. And he was like, oh, dude, I should be careful. I was trying to chain a shiny while driving, and that was, a bad idea.
What? Jesus Christ.
I guess for those who might not know, chaining a shiny... There was, oh, God, I don't know if I'll be able to explain this Pokemon game mechanic. Yeah, you think? Okay, never mind then.
It's just trying to farm a shiny Pokemon, right?
Well, yeah, but there was a specific way you did it with Pokemon Horde battles, where if you kept it going for a really long time, yeah, I actually
people
did that.
Get into that,
and I know I farmed a shiny Dewpider.
What's it?
A Dewpider? I don't know. It sounds stupid like that.
What the fuck is this?
It's just
I played this game and I don't even know what this is.
That's honestly... So I played the recent Pokemon Snap game, and one of the things that was enjoyable about it is, I don't know any of the new Pokemon. So sometimes it was genuinely, what the fuck is that thing?
Yeah.
Because, I actually did not recognize it.
Alright, so that's Sun. Dewpider is a Sun and Moon Pokemon, which came out after X and Y, and I'm very confident in that.
Okay.
I tried to play Sun and Moon, and those games are terrible. The tutorial is genuinely 8 hours long.
Yeah, it's awful. So they tried to do something different with Sun and Moon, and then it's so bad.
I didn't get to see
the one that has the
the islands.
Yeah, and it has the weird... They don't have gyms. They have, island
challenge
leaders.
Pokemon.
God, that was so dumb.
It's
I didn't get to see the actual
funny.
game, though. I never made it out of the tutorial because it was just so long. I got bored to death.
It's so long.
Can you...
Yeah, it's really
I feel bad because I do know people who like Pokemon, but, can you imagine...
Well, they're stupid.
Can you imagine being a Pokemon fan in 2017, the year that it currently is?
What?
Yeah.
Where's this bit going?
I'm trying. I can't imagine it.
Oh, I like the joke that you don't know what year it is. It's funny.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, dang it. We just had another person offer a guest for the podcast.
No, it's fine. We don't need them. Alright, I guess I should say what video games I've been playing.
Yeah.
Should you? Are you a gamer?
I've been known to game. I've been surprisingly busy the last couple of weeks. So I haven't played too many video games. But one that I have been playing is this game that's on Game Pass. Because that's all it... Game Pass, by the way, I'm telling you, if you guys aren't on Game Pass and you're like a PC gamer, get with the program, because it is the best deal in gaming ever. Get on that shit. And you can play Mass Effect, and you can play Mass Effect 2, which is the greatest game ever. Anyway, I've been playing this game called Solasta, Crown of the Magister. And it's this turn-based tactical RPG, which is based on... Actually, it's not based on. It is a direct carbon copy of the Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition rule set. What they did is they sort of copied over every class and subclass and race that is in the so Wizards of the Coast, who owns Dungeons and Dragons, has this open, a certain amount of content that is like open to the public, that anyone can use it for anything. So they put that shit in the game. Then they created their own like homebrew subclasses, which are actually extraordinarily imbalanced and really overpowered. So I've been using those.
Cool.
And you sort of go on this this event. I mean, the story doesn't matter.
Can I be honest? This sounds like nerd stuff, nerd crap.
Yeah.
Nerd
so
shit.
This is the tip of the iceberg, brother.
So if the story doesn't matter, what is the appeal of this?
I think the combat's really good. It's really fun.
Is it almost like you have the dice like right in your hand?
Oh yeah. No, like you could see the die rolling.
Oh, yeah.
So you hit
Dice
the attack button
decides
and
your
it rolls a
destiny,
die
I
in
see.
front of you.
Yeah.
It's really
So,
satisfying.
can I ask you a question here? How do you feel about the game's single player?
It is a single player game.
All right. How do you feel about the game's variable refresh rate?
I mean, it looks okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Xbox achievements, how are those working out for you?
I have a lot of them. I have 380 gamer score out of 1,000 on it.
That sounds pretty poor, actually.
Okay, dude.
Being honest, that's not very good.
Yeah. So I think it does like the best job of recreating 5th edition's combat out of like any turn-based RPG I've played, but you can definitely tell it's made on a budget. There's this really funny thing where like someone will say a line and then like the subtitles won't match up with it.
That rules.
Yeah, it's actually so fucking sick. And during each cutscene, it's just like one NPC talking, and then like the camera like turns back to your party, which is 4 people, and they're all just standing in a line each time.
Oh, I actually don't like that.
It's so funny.
Not a big fan.
It's like it's like surprisingly charming in like how low budget some stuff is, but you can tell it was made with heart.
Sure. Yes, that's good. I like things to be made with organs. And heart's a good one, honestly.
Yeah. No, someone definitely died to make that game, and I'm about it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who likes things.
I have a question. I'm looking through Xbox Game Pass, which sponsors this podcast.
Of course.
And which Farm was just plugging. There's a game on here called Yes, Your Grace.
Uh-huh.
Have you played that?
I have played that. Yeah, I played that last year.
Okay, so I guess my question about it is it that porn game that used to have advertisements everywhere?
No, so, as far as I'm aware, no.
Okay.
I played through Yes Your Grace, and I don't recall any instances of on-screen fucking.
Sure. Although off-screen?
Off-screen, I think so. I think one of the major plot points is you're at some point your wife gets pregnant and you have to do stuff about that. So I think off-screen, yes, I can confirm if there is some off-screen fucking.
Okay. I mean, because it could have been, she could have gone to a clinic, I suppose, and had some kind of a procedure done that,
Not back then.
No? Oh, is it set in the past?
Yeah.
You'd be surprised what they could do back then. It, we have come very far, but you'd be, it's pretty crazy. So, Silver, normally when we bring a guest on, we like to have them talk about a video game, a video game genre, something that they're passionate about, that they're into. So, last week we had Wub on. He kind of talked about Kingdom Hearts a little bit. We had Anti on.
We didn't have Wub on last week.
We did. We had Anti on the week before. He talked about Lisa, which he's a big fan of. The first episode we had Midnight on, and he didn't really talk much because he doesn't care about anything because he's a cool kid. So that's all to say. What are you into, bud?
So I was actually just going to ask, does this Game Pass service include the 2019 Game of the Year Sekiro Shadows Die Twice?
I don't believe so. Let me check.
What was the question? Sorry.
If the sponsor of the podcast, Xbox Game Pass, includes the Game of the Year Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, because I really don't see the appeal of the service if it doesn't.
I am fairly certain it does not.
It does not carry Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is a good video game.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I didn't think to mention it in the what we've been playing section, because it's really more a way of life than a video game at this point, but I just finished my new game plus 82 playthrough of Sekiro.
Were you using the Omega Demon Bead?
No, I was not, because it was a challenge run.
Were you using the grappling hook?
No, I think the Omega Demon Bead makes it harder, actually.
What about the grappling hook?
The grappling hook makes it a lot easier. I've done some playthroughs without it, but I was using it for this one.
I literally, if you could play that game without the grappling hook, it would be so much better.
You can.
No, you can't.
Well, for the most part, you can. I mean, some places I think you're required to let the snake fight.
There are a lot of places where not only is it required to use in combat, you're required to use it to navigate, and none of it makes sense. It's all completely unintuitive, and oh god, the game sucks.
So I think if you feel like you're forced to use the grappling hook, you just haven't practiced your ninja arts enough yet. And once you are really in tune with those, you'll find you can get through all of the game with whatever style you want to use.
Because the thing, after I will say the combat is great, right? It's really fun to fight people and use your cool sword and wait and then attack at the right time. All that stuff rocks. That's so fun.
It's really good.
It is great. I more than really good.
Maybe one of the best combat systems I've ever played in a video game.
It's definitely really up there. Yeah,
it's up there.
Which what sucks is that it then is dragged down by everything else, like the fucking grappling hook. It's just.
I think if it was dragged down by anything, it wouldn't have won 50 plus Game of the Year awards. I'm sure that they gave those awards for good reason.
Well, it didn't win the Game of the Year award on this show.
Oh,
God
we
didn't tell you that
we
much.
should fix that right now.
What year did it come out? We can pick a Game of the Year.
The 2019 Game of the Year.
2019 Game of the Year easy is No More Heroes, Death Stranding. Sorry.
It's Death Stranding.
No, Death Stranding is 2020, isn't it?
Not game on 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Death Stranding.
No, wait, it's Disco. I'm sorry. Yeah. Damn, 2019 was stacked.
Sorry.
The official last video game podcast Game of the Year for 2019 is Disco Elysium!
Yep. As the host, it's Death Stranding.
Disco!
I think
Disco wins
I
it.
think you got the
Disco
wrong
does
game
not.
there, but it's supposed to be Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
The thing is, because we're talking about the best game of the year, not shitty, pretentious, communist circle jerk novel.
I think somebody handed Farm the envelope with the Indie Game of the Year award, because indie games can't win Game of the Year. Everybody knows that.
Well, because the thing is, it's a
Super Mario Maker 2.
I purchased that just because I wanted to support Nintendo. Obviously, I buy everything Nintendo sells.
Crackdown 3 came out in 2019, and we're not talking about it for Game of the Year.
What
are we doing
in 2019?
Crackdown 3. It's on Game Pass. It's literally a free video game if you have Game Pass.
So
Crackdown 1 was great.
It's a free video game if you own it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a good deal.
What else came out in 2019? Crackdown probably sucked. I don't even know what that is. It's just some dumb generic
Modern Warfare,
right?
Control was actually good.
Oh, I've heard good things about Control. Isn't that? Don't you play as a girl?
You play as a woman.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
You play as a demo for an NVIDIA RTX ray tracing graphics card.
Hey, I had a 2080 back then. That's all I'm saying. It's a good looking game.
Oh, Red Dead Redemption 2 came out that year. I've been so tempted to get that game.
Don't.
I know, that's what you said. I've heard that you're not a fan of it, yes.
Well, if you read my backlog review. Anyway, find this piece of work. I think...
Okay, here's the thing. Yes, so Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes did indeed come out in January of 2019. I'm going to have to posit that as Game of the Year 2019. It is superb.
I have 3 picks, all right, and I'm going to list them in the order I would choose them.
Sure.
Number 1, Disco Elysium.
Okay.
Maybe the greatest game ever made. It's up there. Number 2, Death Stranding.
Yes.
And then number 3, I think, the one no one has talked about yet, Outer Wilds.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's the game that you should talk about, Silver. Obviously, that's a strong pick.
Outer Wilds is an indie game, so it shouldn't be eligible for Game of the Year, as I said before. But that aside,
is Annapurna not a major publisher?
They're a fairly large publisher, but it was still an indie team developing it.
It's AA. Okay, so it's like for comparison, it's like the Hartford yard goats of the video game industry.
It's like Scholastic Crowd of the Magister.
They're more
same level of polish.
They're more equivalent to someone like a Devolver Digital, where they publish a lot of indie games, but they don't have much to do with the development or funding.
Listen, this is the last video game podcast. There are going to be no other ones after this.
Yes.
So if you want to nominate an indie game for your Game of the Year for 2019, 2 years ago, you can do it here.
All right.
We don't play by the rules.
I'm going to also give a list because you gave one. So my first list, for number 1, obviously, Travis Strikes Again, No More Heroes. Spectacular. Very good. Number 2, I'm going to have to go with Ocarina of Time. May have come out, not exact, the dates are maybe a little unclear there, but it's a good game, and I really highly recommend it.
Over Majora's Mask?
Absolutely, no question. I don't even have to consider that at all.
Kind of crazy.
So the other thing is, and I actually...
What about your number 3?
Here's the thing. I absolutely had a number 3 in mind before, and I'm not just scrolling up and down the game Wikipedia page just to see and try and refresh my memory, because again, as I said, I did have something in mind.
I suppose I could put together a top 3 list while you look for it.
Yeah. Well, let me just go out with number 3 there, which is The Return of the Obra Dinn. Unfortunately, I wanted a better, more sarcastic answer, but that one is actually just a good game. You feel smart, like you have a good brain that works. And a quick number 4, Piku Niku. Wonderful. So fun.
So you didn't like Death Stranding?
Death Stranding did not come out in 2019.
According to the list I'm looking at.
Maybe this is some kind of a Mandela effect, but we need not get bogged down in specifics. Silver, what your top 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is A Short Hike. It is a very pleasant little game. Looks good. It's got great music. It's very chill and relaxing. And like the title says, it's very short. So I would recommend pretty much anyone to play that. It's a very good time. My number 2 is Outer Wilds, which Truman mentioned a minute ago. It's a very cool space exploration game that does a lot of unique storytelling. And it's very innovative, very unique. I would also recommend that to pretty much anyone. But the number one has to be
Death Stranding.
The game that won the most Game of the Year awards for 2019, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
No More Heroes.
No! So close to having a sincere pick. So close. Give us the real one. I want the real pick.
The real pick is Outer Wilds by a lot.
Alright, then what's your number 3?
My number 3... I'm looking at this list of
Disco.
Baba is really good as well. Baba came out in 2019. Baba Is You, that is. My brain is too small, unfortunately, to have completed that game. But
my number 3 might actually be Super Mario Maker 2.
Okay.
It's got some trade-offs between which is better between Mario Maker 1 and 2, which I won't get into here, but it's still a very fun game. I got a lot of playtime out of that.
I'm going to give a honorable mention just on behalf of the Last Video Game Podcast producing studio. I just have a note here. Fire Emblem Three Houses is great. That's on behalf of the producing team here at the Last Video Game Podcast. I just give that a big, hearty... Is that... I guess I'll say it's a thumbs up. I don't want to, That's... Yeah. All right. I don't know why you're drawing that on the note. Producing team, a.k.a. Farm. So do we want to get into listener mail?
Real quick first, for our Game of the Year awards for 2019, which are all very well-respected games, I know this is a bit unusual for a podcast, but could we have a moment of silence for those in which there will definitely not be a hidden message for the listeners?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, the other guys can't hear me. Sekiro is very fucking bad. Do not play it.
I don't know where this
I don't understand what's happening here.
Okay,
Yes.
there is no
Dead
bit.
air.
It's over now. Just wanted to
Okay.
give some respect to those great video games, and we can move on.
Okay. I don't. Again, I'm really unsure about what just happened. But
Shout out to the Outer Worlds.
The Outer Worlds. Silver. Actually, sorry. Before we get into the video game the podcast viewer mail, why don't you talk a little bit about the Outer Worlds, your favorite video game? So, from what I understand, it's a kind of dystopian RPG set in like a post-Soviet republic, and you kind of discover some stuff about yourself, but also about policing and what the nature of communism is.
Yeah, so it has some really deep narrative themes, and it goes in a lot of interesting directions. It has some of the most player agency in any game I've seen, and also just one of the most original titles out there. Like, how could you come up with something like The Outer Worlds? It's so evocative.
Yeah, I mean, it's maybe the best game Obsidian has ever made. Certainly better than Fallout New Vegas. Any of the Baldur's Gates games, I mean, dog shit, right? But the Outer Wilds, I mean, can't wait for 2.
Yeah, no, me neither. And that's the thing. I see here. I played the Nintendo Switch port because I'm trying to watch my weight, and so I don't want to have too many frames if I can avoid it. And no, it was really nice. It's a good time. But no, seriously, I mean, we do have real questions. Is there anything you want to say about Outer Wilds? Any insane takes, feelings you have about it?
So I guess to give a genuine take, I think Outer Wilds is the best video game ever made, and Outer Worlds is very mediocre, and frankly stole the name being announced months later. So that would be my actual take on the two.
So what is the last video game podcast game of the year for 2019? I think it sounds like it's the Outer Wilds.
I think we're just going to have to go with the average of what we all said and go with New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe U.
It's a fair choice.
Yeah. Well, what about Kingdom Hearts 3?
All right,
let's move on to listener mail.
Yes, listener mail. And sorry, that's New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe for Nintendo Switch. Somehow I got that title mixed up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking dumb bitch. The first piece of listener mail.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Can I amend my third pick? I would instead like to nominate Cadence of Hyrule. That game is great.
Oh, that game is
Cadence
fun.
of Hyrule in a short hike out. A short hike. Bad video game. Not worth your time.
Silverhand7 says Short Hike is a trash-ass, broken piece of crap.
Can put that on the box.
Not worth the 2.5 hours to finish it. Time you'll never get back. The first piece of
when you can play Fire Emblem Three Houses. Again, another note I just received from the production staff.
Oh my god, it's so bad. It's such a bad game. It's like they have the turn-based tactics stuff which works, and then you spend 2 hours after every mission doing an anime thing. You just play an episode of a school anime, and it's terrible. It's so bad, and people like it.
Sorry, is this on the listener mail? I don't really know what you're talking about there.
The first piece of listener mail comes in. This is signed me, Happy Face, so I'll just refer to this person as me. So me says, long-time listener, one-time guest, first-time emailer. I have a couple of questions for you, so we'll just sort of go through it as we go through it. That's me talking, not me. First, what are your thoughts on the hit video game Omori?
Oh.
I guess my first thought is Omori isn't really a hit game. I don't think it sold that well.
Are we going to respond in line here, or like you're going to go through it and then respond at the
yeah,
end,
we'll go. Let's respond to this first question.
Okay, so yeah, so I definitely think it is a video game. Again, I would believe it's a hit video game, relatively for an indie market. I mean, apparently it took a really long time to develop, so maybe it didn't turn that much money of a profit or whatever. But
yeah.
No, I mean, I feel bad because when you're thinking about your take on a video game, you kind of have to be serious with yourself. And if I'm being serious with myself, I'm kind of biased towards RPG type video games. I'm not that into them. I don't want to say they're boring, but they're just not. They don't have enough, flashing lights and button pressing for my ADD ass. So. The game, but that being said, it's
bad.
Omori deals with some very sensitive subjects in ways that I really wish it had not. I'll say.
Yeah, it does a very bad job at it, I think.
So I have tried this Omori game, and I hear it's one of what they call a turn-based RPG. And as a gamer playing a single-player video game, I always want it to be my turn. I don't want to give the game a turn, so I really don't understand why anybody would play a game that doesn't let you play for half of its duration.
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about Death Stranding is you're always in control.
It's true. There's no cutscenes in the game.
None.
But, what struck me about Omori was I've played Mother 3, I've played Earthbound, I've played Lisa, so I'm not the most inexperienced in the genre, but I definitely had more of an emotional reaction to the characters and to the events in Omori than in any of those other games. I just, upon thinking about it, I feel like I was kind of manipulated into that.
Yeah.
Not in a good way.
No.
Yeah. I think in a later episode,
cool the more you think about it.
We'll probably go more into spoilers here, especially because Silver here has not finished this game. Listener who is writing this, your name is me, smiley face.
Have you finished this game? Are you outing yourself as having played through the entire thing?
Yes, I have finished this game. I will say, and again, I'm not sure who's writing this, but Pharma also, I'm not sure if you know about this, but there are alternate endings. And one thing that I think would have made the game interesting and maybe even justified the edginess that I'm finding objectionable would be if the alternate ending was the ending that currently is normal and vice versa.
Yeah, I mean,
that's difficult to talk about without going into spoilers, obviously.
Yeah, and also the hard part is if you want to see that alternate ending, you have to play through the game again, which is not something I ever.
It's not something I want to do, and also there's not necessarily a positive benefit there. Whereas if they flip it, then it's like you finish the game the first time. Very frustrating game. I'll say that much.
All right, let's. Oh, there's more of this. This is back to me, smiley face.
Yes.
My friend played it and thought it was among the best works of art ever crafted, but personally I'm skeptical how a knockoff of a pretty shitty NES game, Mother, could be considered even remotely decent. Yeah, I think we sort of discussed that.
Wow.
Second, can you fire that shitty intern you have? I'm in a tight spot right now and I could really use a job to put in my resume. Even though I know the position is unpaid because the hosts rightfully keep all the money earned from the Patreon. Please let me know your decision ASAP because I'm desperate. Yeah, so actually our intern recently passed in a terrible tragedy.
I actually want to make one thing clear here. So there's only one host. I'm a host. Farm is the producer.
You're the host. Yeah.
So let's not get things mixed. But you are correct on how the money's divvied up. Oh, trust me. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean the Patreon is, I think, recently reached 35 million subscribers. So
we don't like to go into our finances on the.
Yeah, I mean
the intern will be fired. Yes.
I mean, he's dead, so not an issue.
Real quick, can I write in an email while I'm on the podcast?
Absolutely, it's encouraged.
Okay, give me a minute.
I will say in the future, though, please don't ask questions unless they are in the email during the listener email section.
Yep.
That's what the email
so this next one comes in...
was that the end of it?
Yeah, okay. That was sort of... Well, I replied to it, and me finally face. I don't know if you're listening, but I did send you some instructions on how you can apply for the intern role, and we haven't received that application yet. So if you are interested, just follow the instructions in the email.
And just remember that you use the correct type of videotape, because otherwise we won't be compatible with our player, and make sure you get all the angles correct.
And we need at least 30 liters, so keep that in mind. This next question comes in from Galosh.
All right.
Once again, writing in, and he says, "Hey, what's up? It's Galosh again. I'm delighted to hear that the producer managed to fix his audio issues. The podcast is now a blast to listen to. Here's my gamer question for this episode. What's your favorite chips to eat while playing video games? And that's all for me, folks. Remember to stay safe and brush your teeth." Favorite chips to eat while play? I'm not really I don't really eat snack food because it is bad for you.
If you're gonna eat chips while gaming, you gotta go with Cool Ranch Doritos. But here's the thing: I know what you're thinking. Oh wait, but I'll get Cheeto dust all over my controllers. No, so that's where you're wrong. What you do is you get some chopsticks. You hit the chopsticks up. You use them to grab the chips. That way your fingers stay clean, and you can even hold the chopsticks while holding your controller.
So I usually don't eat chips or snack foods while I'm gaming. I'll usually just take a break. But if you are, I think a really good one is pretzels. They don't make a mess, and they're still a salty snack food.
Aldi, and I don't know if this is other places, but at least in Aldi around here, they sell these pretzels. They're filled with peanut butter. They're like bite-sized.
Oh yeah, those are great.
I'm actually not that into those for some reason. Peanut butter plus pretzel, not that good for me. Chocolate plus
really good.
Pretzel, obviously delicious.
They probably sell chocolate-covered ones.
One thing that I like to snack on while gaming is a couple Cinnabons. I'll go to a local Cinnabon and I'll order a half dozen, and then
hold on, no,
play some golf.
No, I'm not letting you get away with this one. Absolutely not.
It's pretty good.
You not eat Cinnabon? No way. There's no way you eat Cinnabons while you play video. No, it's ridiculous. No one's ever going to believe that.
I'm eating. I'm not eating it right now, obviously. I have a couple Cinnabon next to me that I could eat.
No, you bullshit, you do.
I can post a picture of it in the viewer chat
do
right
it.
now.
You don't just keep Cinnabons next to you. That's insane.
Why not? I mean, obviously sometimes, ants will show
Post a picture.
But, okay.
So, to continue with my answer, right. I guess. Well, I don't eat them while I'm gaming. I would say my favorite chips, which might be more in the spirit of the question, are kettle-cooked salt and vinegar chips. There's this brand, I think the brand is called Kettle Cooked. They come in a blue bag. They're very good.
I'm not that big of a fan of kettle cooked in the first place, but also I don't mind salt and vinegar, but in and of themselves I can't do it. They're too much. Too sharp, maybe.
It's my favorite chip flavor, easily.
I like to mix salt and vinegar and jalapeno chips in a bowl. Actually, sometimes while gaming. That rocks.
I'm a big sour cream and onion guy. If I'm gonna have a chip, which I don't usually, I mean, I don't buy them for myself because it's like, you gotta look good for the ladies. Yeah, but if I was going to buy a potato chip, I think would be a sour cream and onion one. I'm just kind of hungry.
That's rough.
Also, favorite thing to consume while playing video games, of course, Monster Energy, who is a sponsor of this show.
I actually will say, on a serious note, a great snack for while gaming that's not even that unhealthy is if you use the stove to cook up some popcorn. You can throw some salt, some butter on there. It's delicious. It's so good, and it's low calorie, easy to make, delicious.
One of my roommates has been eating a lot of popcorn lately, and then the whole apartment smells like popcorn, and it's been making me want to start eating it again.
I highly recommend it. I will ask a question, though. I have some insight into the maybe behavior of your roommates. Are they making microwave popcorn?
They are making microwave popcorn.
Yes. So I'm going to say don't make microwave popcorn. It's trash and not very healthy. Make the stovetop. It's worth it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Is there a specific type of stovetop, like a specific brand of stovetop popcorn you recommend? Because now I'm sort of curious.
No, you just you can just buy a whole bunch of kernels. You throw a couple of them in oil. You wait for it to pop, and then when they're ready, you throw the rest of them in. You throw a lid on it. They all pop, then you put them in a bowl. Delicious.
Sounds hard.
It's really not that hard. It's wonderful.
All right, the penultimate word of the week, right? Everyone loves that word.
That's a good
piece
word.
of listener mail. This comes in from GoCool. That's what it's signed. And they say, long-time listener, first-time emailer. My question is, what is the worst Smash game? Love the podcast. I always crack up when somebody makes a joke, completely deadpan, and no one laughs. So something I just want to address really quick is we don't make jokes on this show. I don't think video games are something to be laughed at. I think there's something to be appreciated as a serious form of art. So when you imply that video games are funny, you do a disservice to the industry, and quite frankly, it's offensive to me personally.
We are the last video game podcast, so it's not, we can't mess around with it. It's not a joke.
Yeah, so to answer the question, I think the worst Smash game is Super Smash Bros. Melee, because it has a lot of these glitches in it that players can abuse to win unfairly. And the later games in the series fix that right up, and they're much more fun.
I think there's an argument to be made for several different being the worst. Like, for instance, I think Super Smash Bros. Brawl, I think if you make a factual and objective argument, you look at the fors and the against, you just break down stuff scientifically and empirically, Brawl's probably obviously the worst. I'm going to say that, on the other hand, though, Super Smash Bros. 64 might be the worst because it actually runs in 240p, which is it's tiny, it's low resolution. That sucks. Nobody wants to do that.
Doesn't look as good as the other games.
No, exactly, and that's the thing. Like, the most recent one, I think, runs in almost 720p. That's HD, baby.
So. And it has a lot of character. It has Minecraft Steve in it.
It does.
Yeah, more characters, bigger game, better game.
Yeah. I think Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U is terrible, and no one should ever play it.
Smash Tour can be fun, and Brawl is worse than Smash Wii U, easily.
Brawl had Subspace Emissary, and I remember as a child enjoying that with my friends.
Subspace Emissary.
I did not enjoy stuff on Smash Wii U as a college student.
I just don't know why someone would choose to play Smash Tour when they could be playing Mario Party and getting fucked over by like 10 more types of RNG at the same time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if I'm going to get mad at like a stupid kid's party game, I'm going to choose Mario Party.
Mario Party is good for parties. It's in the name.
Personally, I don't get mad at video games, but you guys do what you
I
want.
only get mad at Mario Party, which makes me believe it's actually not a video game.
It's anime, I believe.
What?
Mario Party is anime.
No, what was it? What's that word mean?
Anime?
Yeah.
It's like anime making me crazy.
So we have our last email here. Just came in 7 minutes ago, actually.
Wow.
Yeah. This is from Johnny Silverhand, the one from Cyberpunk 2077, Game of the Year 2020, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves asks, "Where is the Patreon? I'm a guest and they still won't give me the link. Kind of rude, honestly." Again, we've sort of gone over this more than once, but it bears repeating. The only way we can send you a link to the Patreon is if you are a $5 or higher tier subscriber to the Patreon.
Yes, if you're interested in getting a link to the Patreon, please subscribe to the $5 or up tier, and we'll get you a link post-haste.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that clears it up.
Yeah, perfectly clear.
Cool. Yeah, so if you have any, you being the kind viewer, listener, I guess viewer since it's on YouTube, it's technically a video, not... If you have a question or questions you want us to answer, send them in to lastvideogamepodcast@gmail.com.
Please do. I was, recently violently accosted from a Discord server when I was trying to spread the good word of this podcast. So feel free to send in some, letters of support as I, try and recover from that difficult time.
Yep. Or if you want to send us hate mail, we'll respond to it. I read everything, so if you want to send something really mean, you can make me read it. I know Streamer likes to send me really mean DMs when our viewership doesn't get as high as he wants. So if you want to join in on the abuse, go ahead.
Well, let's let's not get into that. Your job is to produce the viewers, so I'm not sure why that's my fault. But yeah. So one thing actually that I was thinking about before that I wanted to touch on was we discussed this quality that some video games can have of a charming shittiness, these glitches that are actually kind of nice and they are inviting. They make you want to play the game more because you're kind of messing around with stuff. I recently played Deadly Premonition by Swery, which it seemed as if it almost captured that quality, but then it was actually just shitty, and that sucked.
Yeah, I think I watched someone play 2 hours of Deadly Premonition, maybe back in 2011, and I guess my impression of it is it's a Twin Peaks ripoff, and also I think it was intentionally made to be shitty, and then it doesn't work if you intentionally make the game shitty.
Yes, it's like a Twin Peaks ripoff, but they don't actually get what makes Twin Peaks good, and then they intentionally make it shitty, which almost makes it interesting, but it doesn't make it interesting, and it says it's just bad. And then also it becomes pretty transphobic once you get long, and that sucks.
Wasn't Swery wasn't he in the news recently because of stuff like that?
Yeah, I could be wrong, but didn't he get arrested for holding child porn? No, I don't know if that's true.
Maybe he's thinking of somebody else.
Might be.
I don't know.
I know that the creator of Amori actually was, the subject of some kind of allegations that didn't necessarily sound all that great. But
we didn't need to get into political stuff,
right?
We don't want to make sweeping political statements like. I'm not going to go
there. I would like to accuse the creator of Amori of making a turn-based RPG, which is not a video game.
Yeah, I think that's valid.
Yeah.
Super valid. It's close to a tabletop game. Right?
But again, that's why we shouldn't be talking about it, because we are a video game podcast, and so we should not be talking about things that are not video games.
Exactly.
So with that in mind, I just want you to all look under your desks. I've provided you with these prototype copies of the Nintendo Vitality sensor, and we're going to play a game.
It's really there.
Wow. How do you know where I live?
So, yeah. No, you're aware that was a real peripheral at one point, right? That was bonkers to think about.
It's like a heart rate monitor?
Yes, it was the thing that it was a clamp on the end of your finger, and it hooked up to your Wiimote.
To your Wiimote? That's interesting. Yeah, they did try to, for a long time, they tried to make the Wii this, like, fitness machine. I remember they would, like, put in retirement homes so that old people would be active.
Yeah, so I don't know if you remember, but for a while there was this meme of "My body is ready," and Reggie was saying that. So that was from the presentation of the Nintendo Vitality sensor, and because it became so infamous and obviously dumb, it was not released.
I miss Reggie.
If you told me, I would have guessed that it would be like an NES era peripheral, or maybe around the Virtual Boy. They were trying some really weird stuff back then too.
I do think it just rules that Reggie tweeted out something about playing Mother 3.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Really?
He has to know, right? Like, he has to know what that means to people.
That's so insane. Like, S-tier trolling, honestly, because I can't even think of anything better to do. Like, if he tweeted out, like, playing the hidden N64 Ocarina of Time disc drive port.
Just caught Mew behind the truck. Smiley face.
Well, that was
people know about that.
Yeah,
that's too obvious.
Because that was like in Japan, like people were able to do that.
Man, fuck Japan.
Yep, that's a video game podcast stance. Firm.
Let's move on to our backlog review of the week.
Oh hell yes.
This one was making waves on the boards. Quite a bit of activity on this post. Very, very controversial. This one comes in from user 40 Cakes. It is a review of Metroid Dread, which is a game that, as far as I'm aware, isn't out yet. And this review says, "Wow, $60. That's a lot of money for such a presumably small game. How about you pirate it? Get it for free? In fact, how about you stop giving a dogshit company like Nintendo any money at all and pirate every Nintendo game you want to play? Huh? Ever think about that, huh?" So not really a review of the game, considering the game isn't out yet, but definitely takes a firm piracy is good actually stance.
So my response to this user would be to inform them, because I think they have been misinformed somewhere along the way. But piracy of games or any other media is illegal and thus immoral, so you really shouldn't be doing that.
That sounds really close to a political statement.
The thing is, while regardless of weighing in on that, I just would say that Nintendo is a great company. I love what they're doing. I can't think of a single thing they've done at any point that I've disagreed with. And so I say purchase it so you can vote with their wallet for them to keep doing more stuff. I can't wait until the Nintendo Labo 2 comes out. That's going to be so exciting, and I hope that it does.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the next Pokemon game, that one that you all saw the demo, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
If you want that game to run at 60 frames per second, you need to purchase Metroid Dread immediately.
Oh, I don't know about that. I would just say, why would you want it to run at 60 frames per second? I think people really underrate Microsoft PowerPoint as a video game engine.
I bet you could make like a decent PowerPoint game.
Yeah, people definitely do that. I think that's something I did in like middle school.
I've seen somebody made some like entire RPG that you could play in Excel once. I didn't try it, but it looked neat.
There was a secret hell maze that you could access in Excel 2000 or something like that. Input some obscure variety of keys and then it would show up.
I've seen speedruns of the Excel maze hack thing that you were talking about.
Yeah, that rocks. No, I mean, so my take on Metroid Dread is like I'm almost positive that it's going to suck. It looks like trash.
Yes.
Like the aesthetic is unoriginal. It just like I can't see it being good, but I still probably will get it maybe because it seems cool that they're making a Metroid game.
But I mean, is there any chance that Metroid Dread is as good as Hollow Knight? Is there any world in which that's possible?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I don't
Hollow
think
Knight?
so.
Yeah, sure. But Super Metroid, no way. So, what's the point?
I don't think it'll be as good as either of those, but they're making a Metroid game in 2021, and I admire that.
Crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's about time, right? When was the last Metroid game?
Also, just like Metroid Dread
Prime
specifically has been a meme for so long. Other M, probably. And before that, actually, sorry, I think the most recent one is Federation Force, right? The 3DS one?
I don't know, brother.
That's not a Metroid game.
Metroid Federation Force absolutely is. And prior to that, there was the Samus Returns remake on 3DS, and that is actually I played it maybe an hour of that. It's pretty much the number one reason why I am not confident at all in this sequel.
Did they make Chibi Samus? What is this?
You've never seen Federation Force?
What is this? Dude, what did they do to Samus?
Look away.
Actually,
what?
The most mind-blowing thing, and I'm actually Googling it right now to make sure that
Why does it look like this? It looks so bad.
They ported the original Luigi's Mansion to 3DS at one point. Which is just surreal to me.
So I think the part you're not understanding, Farm, is that you can play soccer as Samus in Federation Force. It's a great video game.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty. I do like. So do you it's like Samus the ball and you kick her?
No, that would be way too creative. It's basically just Rocket League, but you're running around as like a Samus, and people are different colored Samuses.
Have you ever played Metroid Prime Hunters?
Yeah, that game was awesome. I played that way back on my DS. You used to play on the school bus.
I very much recall
going to high school.
The Metroid Prime Hunters demo came with my DS because I got one of the first ones, and I think the demo came with it.
This is insane.
I remember that rocked.
I remember the title song for Metroid Prime Hunters was like really like da 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 da, and I really liked it.
That's cool. That's cool.
They really did make Rocket League, huh? They made Samus Rocket League.
They came up before Rocket League, though, did it not?
Even if it wasn't before supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered battle cars.
Whatever. That's going to be my take from now on, is that Rocket League is ripping off Nintendo.
What if they have do they have Samus in Rocket League? They don't.
No,
wait, Samus's gunship, Rocket League Wiki? They have Samus's gunship in Rocket League.
What? I need to get Rocket League for the Switch now.
Oh, because it's on Switch. Yeah, that makes sense.
Look at that. That's insane.
Whoa.
Doesn't look very much like Samus's gunship.
I literally would not recognize that that's a Samus thing. I just would think that that's.
Oh, there's another one. There's one that. Look at this one.
Okay, this is ridiculous. This isn't even the right color. Samus's gunship matches her suit. It's orange and red.
Yeah, hold on.
No, there is an orange one. Also.
Here it is. That's the one.
Okay.
That's it. I mean, that looks good. I'll say it.
That looks a little closer than the blue one you linked before. This is really good audio content here.
Yeah.
Well, we're describing them. I mean, it's like a Samus car. It's not really doesn't really look like Samus at all. But it's, the viewer can also do the googling at home.
There are Mario cars too, and Luigi. That's insane.
What a weird world. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
The 3DS is a strange console. Like, towards the end of its life, it just got some weird shit thrown on it. Including, I think, although this doesn't necessarily count because it wasn't Nintendo, but it doesn't have I think it has a native Mario 64 port now.
Just like on the Virtual Console, or?
No. Like someone ported it like natively because the source code is available or whatever.
Yeah, I would believe it.
And then I think also I don't think it was ever publicly released, but somebody built Portal for 3DS, but didn't ever release the build. I think.
As far as I'm concerned, the 3DS is a machine meant exclusively for playing Picross 3D Round 2, which is an amazing video game.
I've heard good things. Not big on puzzle games like that, but I've heard good things about Picross.
I don't mind puzzle games, but once I get stuck, I just lose all momentum and then never play it again.
Yeah, I don't like being challenged.
Yes, unironically, I'm too stupid. Yeah, well, I mean, thank you for coming on and talking about. Is there anything else you want to say about Outer Wilds? I feel like we didn't really give you that large of a platform to speak about that game. Although I guess it is short notice.
So nothing else to say about Outer Wilds, really. It's not a game that's worth talking about too much. But if we're wrapping up here, and I can have a minute, I run a Discord server, and if any of your listeners would like to join and chat about video games, they can message me on Discord at Silverhand #7777. So yeah, come hang out. It's a good time.
Yeah, you might even find other people there.
Feel free, by the way, to go into random Discord servers and plug the Last Video Game Podcast.
Please,
tell them to listen to us. Tell them to follow us on Twitter at VGPodcamp.
Yeah.
Please.
Despite our outstanding Patreon support, we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars a day. We are burning through cash at an alarming rate. So please get the word out. My children, I don't know if I'll be able to feed them next month. So
yes, and trust me, we're hungry. So all right,
I think that'll do.
That'll do it for this week, I suppose. Thanks for tuning in, as always.
Oh God.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Let's just cut it.